As a media producer and consultant based in Los Angeles, perception is my business. I deal in the visual world of products and people and how they are perceived by the viewing audience. Today, in a media-saturated culture, perception is the currency of choice. Public relations has become an art form as celebrities, politicians, and companies confront the need to impact and influence public opinion, and the issue of perception has become a critical part of advertising campaigns, press releases, and public statements. Perception is also the catalyst that's driven the advertising industry to move from informational advertising to emotional advertising. Historically, the primary goal of marketers was to tell the public about the wonderful features of a product, how it works, the quality of the construction, the helpful features. But today, advertisers don't tell us about the product. They tell us how we're going to feel when we use the product. When was the last time you saw an athletic shoe commercial describe the high-quality materials that went into the shoes, the excellent construction, or the useful features? Today, they're more interested in convincing you that when you strap them on, you'll suddenly leap like Michael Jordan or LeBron James. You'll win championship sports events or fit in with a cooler crowd. It's not about facts. It's about perception. From the perspective of religious faith, I've spent years wrestling with the moral implications of perception. Watching tobacco companies position cigarettes as non-addictive, casino owners position themselves as family entertainment, and pornographers position themselves as champions of free speech, I looked at the art of perception as a negative, deceitful proposition. Indeed, it can be, but like many things, I learned it also has a flip side, as I began to study how Jesus went to great lengths to impact the public perception of his ministry and his purpose on the earth. He actually told people who had been healed not to tell anyone. He carefully chose the men who would be his closest associates. During the height of his popularity, he withdrew to remote places to be alone. He chose the method of his triumphal entry into Jerusalem. When he could have escaped in the garden, he told Peter to stop fighting and quietly allowed himself to be arrested. During the events that led to his execution, he even controlled the interrogation of Pilate by only responding to certain questions. Jesus had a purpose and plan for his life, and he refused to let others determine his destiny or how he would be perceived. But why did he care what people thought? It's not just who you are, it's how you're perceived. Since the days of Adam and Eve, who someone actually is has always seemed less important than how they're perceived. That may sound harsh, until the word gets out that your church is irrelevant and boring, or all you do in the pulpit is ask for money. Those statements probably aren't true, of course, but if that's the way people start perceiving you, you'll see attendance drop pretty quickly. Frank Turek is an apologist who helps Christians to defend their faith in the public square. He's best known as the founder and president of crossexamine.org. Listening to Frank speak, I noted that he often asked non-believing college students the question, if I could absolutely show you proof that the God of the Bible really exists, would you believe it?